Okay, let me go back a little bit more basic so that I want to make sure that everybody understands the basic aspects of this before we get into the really complex stuff that I'm modeling now. One question is, well, first I just want to make sure everybody is understanding what's going on with the torus here. What are we talking about? We're talking about the ultimate, most powerful vortex, the philosopher's stone, if you will. It's like a source of unlimited energy. Marko describes it better than I can on his videos. And I want to make sure everybody understands what we're talking about when we talk about circuits. Now, it's pretty clear here, I think this is like a wire being wound. And on this torus, you know, you're showing a circuit coming in where you can't see it once it goes through the center. But because of the way the math is, this is the first math that's been able to take you through the center of the hole, inverting, coming out upside down, and back around. And I figured out how to calculate on that to know where every different number is at any given time without even having to be able to see it in 3D. I can do it in my head now. It's really easy. But instead of this all being one circuit that went all the way around to connect to itself, it's really multiple circuits. So if you, just to make sure you understand, what I'm showing on this model, here's what I said was a circuit. It's 124875. It's my 147 family number group. All right, that's what I mean with a binary triplet. It's binary, positive, negative, but it's actually a synchronized triplet of your 147. It's the same with every family number group, whether it's 396 or 285. Okay, it's going in 3, coming out 6. And so when I say circuit, I'm just talking about a pathway of motion. So what you're seeing in a straight line here, it really should be at an angle. Really what it is one of these coming in like this, and the other one's coming out like this. And in between is a space, which is where the ether-on flux field occurs. All right, that's how you allow the magnetic field to breathe and to let it pulse and work. So I'm saying on the smallest torus you can have, it's not just two conductors. That it's a minimum of 6 conductors. All right, that's the minimum you can have to have unbroken multiplication series, to have one interconnected spire, and that go up in the multiples, as I was saying. So when we talk about circuits, we're just talking about the way the energy is phasing in, the way that it's going out, and the proportion that it has to be in to allow the field to occur. Now, the idea with all the numbers being in proportion is that if you create the electricity per se, you get the magnetism, which we already know, and more importantly, you get the etherons, which is the only energy higher than the known elements, okay, that we can model perfectly in this mathematics. But if you only have one circuit going all the way around, you cannot get your unbroken multiplication tables, which means when we're talking about quantum numbers, you don't get this lining up. You cannot have the shearing. Even the principles of the coil cannot work. All right, but these coils are designed just like our DNA. They're designed to conduct energy. All right, they're designed for efficiency, for speed. Your brain is like this. So the circuit's going this way, going out. This model here is based on, as I showed in my other video, a 36 by 18. So I want to make sure that everybody understands that concept of how to build a torus. You have to start with your mathematical fingerprint. We call it mathematical fingerprint of God. This is a small one, but you can get your own. All it has to be is 9 by 9 squares. You have to have 162 tiles to make it. Okay? And then, and I'll just, again, I know I read some of these, but I want you to understand the concept of what I'm saying, to see that it's not just a matter of me having a wrong number. Okay, what I'm going to start off, because we're talking about ratios, proportions. So when we do our axes, and remember every multiplication series is modeling an axis of spatial orientation. So when I say even numbers, I'm talking about 9 by 9, 18 by 18, 27 by 27, 36 by 36, and that is, what was I saying? I don't know. Anyway, so if we go 9 by 9, I'm saying there's 3 nested vortices circuits. So let me again go over what is a nested vortices circuit. Whereas my regular doubling circuits, I have a 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 going in here, 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 coming out here, my 3, 9, 6 in the middle. This, which is 9, 6, 6, 9, 3, that is a nested vortices circuit. On a torus like this, which is 36 by 18, there are 6 of those with 12 conductors. But it works like this. If you do a 9 by 9, you can have all the principles of your symbol. You're going to have 3 nested vortices circuits. They do always connect back to themselves. You're going to have 18 vortices over the surface. There are going to be 6 conductors. So if you're making a coil with this, based on this, on this quantum mechanical version of it, if you want to say, you're going to have a minimum of 6 different conductors. Now, ultimately, I think it should be done in a better form than with wires and plastic donuts like that. You have to be able to preserve the curvature, and I talked about that in my other video. So for 3 nested vortices circuits, there are 18 of these nested vortices, which give this spin orientation, which make it perfect, make it mirror. I believe they create vortices that go all the way through. So 9 by 9 is 3 nested vortices circuits. 18 of those vortices, they're in 3 groups of 6. You have 6 circuits. You have 1 spire. All right, and that spire, of course, consists of 18 vortices. For an 18 by 18, again, just following my inverse square law, I have 6 nested vortices circuits, 72 vortices, 12 circuits, and there's 6 groups of 12. And then I have 2 spires. So there's 36 vortices per spire and makes 72 vortices. I'll just say 2 more. I got 27 by 27, 9 nested vortices circuits, 162 vortices. There are 9 groups of 18, 18 circuits, 18 conductors. That makes 3 spires with 54 vortices in each spire. So I hope everybody follows that. You can, go along, carry them on yourself. It gets really interesting the more you make the combinations of the numbers. You see how the spires change and how the torus evolves as it collects more of this etheron energy, if it can maintain stability and resonance.